I'm just in the store running some small errands. Let me see what I need. The most Dutch thing in life. This is some bomb natural brew. When I tell you I'm hooked on this thing, gosh, it's non-alcoholic. It does have like a hint of rose, and it really is good. Okay, so I was standing in the store and I could not really film the way I want to, because for some reason there's always someone lurking from a corner. I did some small groceries. Y'all saw the plants that I bought, right? I'm officially a plant mommy. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna stop and then I'm gonna continue on the other side. I was actually at the other side of the bus stop because there were people sitting here, and I'm bougie as hell. If I want to sit at the bus stop, I want to sit at the bus stop, and if that means I have to sit across of the bus stop, I will sit across of the bus stop. Anyway, sitting now. Oh my god, I look a mess. I'm sitting now and on my way home. I actually went to the store because I wanted to have these plants over here, because I'm officially a plant mommy. Did not do many groceries. I gotta be honest with you, I really don't have the energy for it, so I'm just gonna let my groceries be delivered to the store. To my home, not to the store, to my home. You know what really irks me when you're in the store? When you ask for something and there are a couple of employees, store employees, and you want to ask something and they all give you this dead look. I asked you something, go and do it. That's why you're here in the store, to work. Yeah, it really irks me. It really gets to my skin. It's the worst thing that you can do. But I remain very kind, put on a really good smile. But the fact that I see it and you're just looking at me like a dead sheep, but girl, it's not a cute look. It doesn't look cute. Going home, I'm going to eat something. My appetite is not really back after having COVID, so I'm just going to keep it to a light soup, and then I'm going to get to work and make some beautiful pieces. I'm just a big advocate for people, especially if you're, coming from an artistic point of view, or you're coming from a creative point of view. When you are offering your services, is that it is really important to set the right price for yourself. And I had this, I had a couple of videos that I've seen of people, debating whether they want to charge their services by the hour, or whether they want to serve their products or their services as a package. And what I mean by that is, this is a package deal that has a number of things that you can ask for, and this is what you're getting, basically that's structure. And I'm the last girl. I'm the last girl. I feel, also looking at my whole history of having 9 to 5s, working for other organizations, being paid by the hour. Not to say there's nothing, it's not the worst thing to be paid by the hour, but here's the thing, it's also not the most ideal thing to be paid by the hour, right? Especially if it's set by other people, or you can cut yourself in the fingers, as we say it in Dutch. You cut yourself in the fingers. It can be a big disadvantage for you when you set your pricing per hour. Now, I can imagine, of course, certain cases, certain circumstances where it might be ideal, right? You might be high in demand and you can set a very high hourly rate for yourself. Maybe it's just your preference to work by the hour, especially when it comes to commissions. What if you work more or put in more hours than what you were actually hoping for? What if you are being asked to make a lot of revisions to the work that you have, and now you're thinking to yourself, oh, wait a minute. It was not part of the deal. You can set yourself up for failure in those particular moments. And way back in the beginning, I have seen how it actually can be in your own detriment when you set a hourly rate, and especially when it's an hourly rate that is way too low. And I'm not talking about, oh, but you're a beginner, or this is the first time that you're doing things. I understand. Trust me, I understand. But when you're more in the professional level, you're going towards the pro level, or you're already in the pro level, it is very important to understand that your time is valuable. And this is going to be unpopular opinion for a lot of people. I just know that it's going to be unpopular for a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, yeah, but if I put my hours too high, or I don't do it hourly so that people can, so that there's a strict perimeter, I'm afraid that I won't get the customer that I want. You should be afraid for the customer that you do not want. Really. Setting a price is not necessarily just a parameter of the value of your work. It is also a parameter of the desired customer that you would like to attract to you. And also it shows a parameter of your work, of how you work, of what you offer. It also makes it more clear for people to understand that there are, not to say that there are limits to your work, but more to say there are certain conditions. And when we meet these conditions, then at least we are at the same path, we are at the same point, at the same meeting point of where the service that I'm giving will be, exactly the thing that the client is desiring. The thing that I really want to say with this is, do not be afraid to set yourself aside from the rest, right? It should not only be based on pricing. Yes, these are hard times and everything is getting more expensive. People are looking more and more for prices. People are more comparing services and commission, where they want to have their next commission, or who's going to do the next creative project, who has to, who fits into the budget. Those are things you do have to take into consideration. I definitely also do that. I don't think it's a weird question to ask someone who commissions you, what is your budget? What is your range? So that you can be honest about what it is that you can offer the client. I don't think that's a weird question. And it's a very open question, and you can lead somebody into the process, right? You can lead them in the process, and also let them get to know who you are, how you work, and how your value is set up. But do not get distracted by this sense of, if I don't do it cheaper, they will go to someone else. If I don't do it cheaper, I will not get the next customer. If I do not get it cheaper, I will always be competing for the next project, right? And what I actually want to tell you is, set yourself aside by having a good steady price that really reflects everything that you need to have a great life as a creative or as an artist. Set that price, not the price that says you're the cheapest Set the price that is the right reflection of the value that you deliver and the lifestyle that you have as an artist, because you got to eat. Okay, you got to eat. You want to live your life. You don't want to live your life at the bare minimum of everything. Might be in the beginning, but you do not want to live your life at the bare minimum of everything. You also have to look at yourself like, if I want to give a full life and therefore be content, give the fullest of myself, I do have to set a value that reflects that and also shows the customer that they have to make a decision about whether they want to hire you or commission you for whatever creative or artistic project that you have, right? Again, not every project allows that, but you get to choose that. You can have a combination of, okay, well, you know what, this particular project has this particular budget. Okay, 1 or 2 or 3 I can push into that in a curriculum. But others, listen, this is the price. The price is the price. Period. So everything changes from year to year. So you have to set your prices. You have to correct them accordingly. Paintings. The paintings that I have, they get more expensive every year. Paintings appreciate in price, in value. They just do. They are one of the few goods that appreciate in value every year. So for me, it is standard that the prices that you see last year, you're definitely not going to get those prices next year. So what you will find here in 2022, you're not going to see that in 2023. No sir. And also when it comes to commissions, when you are getting commissions, when you're getting into projects, ask for it. If there is room, space for it, ask for it. Do it in an open manner. Do it more in an inquisitive manner, right? Is there room for the budget to be, maybe adjusted a little bit? Or is this the budget, what is given? Or, you have ways to ask those type of questions. And sometimes you don't even have to ask it. It's just given what it's given. But in other moments where you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. They specifically chose me, well, then I do have to give a true, authentic, reflective pricing that shows the value, but also the product or the service that they are about to get from me. And I really want to urge anyone who is in this atmosphere, in this particular world, that you do mind your Q's and your P's when it comes to your value. Never, ever, ever, ever apologize for setting the value at the value that you're setting it. Never apologize for it. People get to say no. And you also get to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything. You really don't. Hey y'all, and I'm smiling. I'm smiling. Yeah, I know, but I'm tired. Don't let the smile fool you. So it's 11 o'clock at night. Sitting here at the desk. The desk is an absolute mess. It's a mess. I will show you later. But I'm sketching here. Well, I'm not sketching. I'm now really drawing. So in the previous video, I've been drawing. Anyway, if you want to know more about that, just click the link here below in one of the corners and you will get more information about that. So in the previous video, I've been sketching, talked all about that. And now I am putting the sketch into a actual drawing. So I came to the conclusion that I did not want to use sketching paper, or actually it is not sketching paper. It is just drawing paper. Oh, it doesn't have the front anymore. Interesting. It is just drawing paper. It's paper that you can use to draw on, making illustrations, whatever it is that you want to create. However, I do not feel that it adds to the quality that I want to create. However, it depends all on it, right? It depends all on it. But for the thing that I really want to do, the drawing, I wanted to do that on Bristol paper. So I will show you how Bristol paper looks like, and I hope the camera is going to catch it. But as you can hear, Bristol paper is the type of paper that is slightly heavier than your regular drawing paper. It's heavier. It comes in white. It can come in different colors. It can also come in black. You can buy it at the local art supply store. Some smaller art supply stores might have it as well. But you already know me. I like to go for the quality, so I go to the art supply store. I'm not taking any chances with it. I ain't take my chances. So I go to the art supply store. It's also relatively more expensive than you would see in comparison to normal drawing paper. And that's all because it is heavier. It has a really smooth surface. And it is absolutely the whitest type of white that you will ever see on Bristol paper. I've worked on Bristol paper before, and it's really good to work on when it comes to pencil drawings or charcoal drawings. You could argue whether you want to use such a smooth surface, because with charcoal and graphite pencils, it does need a grip. You do kind of need a grip. And what I mean by that is when you have paper that has texture, it helps you hold the charcoal or the graphite to the paper. That also goes for color pencils. The same thing goes for dry pastel. The same thing goes for oil pastel. Those are all mediums that work really well with textured paper. And you have textured paper. I also have textured paper here in the studio. But for this, I wanted to have smooth paper. Just absolutely smooth. And therefore, Bristol paper is the choice that I'm taking in this particular case. So I will definitely later on in the video show you the sketch and then show you the actual drawing. Now the actual drawing is not finished, people. Like I already said, I'm still busy. It's still the process. I'm still doing my thing. Still doing it. Even at 11 o'clock at night. I'm just gonna look how far I'm gonna get today with drawing. I don't want to push myself into anything because I know that when I get tired, my eyes go like this and I do not see what happens. So I'm just going to see how far I can go. If my eyes are really like, girl, it's time to shut these suckers down, I will stop, turn off all of the lights and continue in the morning. We'll continue in the morning. But for now, maybe it's also good just to share, quickly what it is that I'm working with.
Yeah, a small intermission right here. Now, if you want to know all the tools that I've been using for this particular drawing, I suggest that you go to my Patreon page, because over there I have a detailed video of everything that I've been using so far. Become a member on my Patreon page and you will get to see everything in detail. Okay, let's continue the video.
So yeah, I thought it would be fun for me to show you what it is that I'm working with, what tools that I use. And as you can see, it's really simple. It's very inexpensive. I think these are really great for people that are starting with sketching, just starting with drawing. It's not as intimidating as going for pastels, markers, pencils, color pencils. This is a really easy way for you just to start with whatever it is that you do. And listen, you can create beautiful things with that. I'm always amazed about how sophisticated and realistic people can make their drawings and present that on social media. I think it's absolutely gorgeous what they create. It's not my thing. I'm not interested into creating realistic artworks. And just to digress a little bit in that direction, now that I got you on the line, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about that. The creation of realistic paintings, that's not the top level that each and every artist wants to reach, or each and every artist feels like reaching. And also in general, not because you're making these hyper realistic or realistic paintings, drawings, fill in the blank. Not because you're doing that does it make you now a top artist. It just makes you good at what it is that you do. Okay? Sometimes I hear people say, well, that must be the top of the top. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It might be even unpopular opinion, and it might piss a couple of people off on this platform, which okay, well, oh well. Not hyper realistic is one of the streams within contemporary art, but it's not the goal. The goal is not for an artist to say, this is how I want to create, and that would be like the crown on my work. If it is for you, then kudos. Keep doing what it is that you're doing. Nobody's going to stop you for doing what it is that you're doing. So when you're creating your art, please create the art that suits you and find the highest level within your own artistic practice. Do that. Find the highest level within your own artistic practice and see how you technically can improve in that. See how you artistically can improve in that. Find the highest level that is applicable to you. Be inspired, be motivated, but do not be just a sheep walking behind a certain, a certain output that is available in the art market or in the art field. It can feel that way, of course. It can appear that way because we're being bombarded with, of course, great art in general. We are being bombarded with great art, but you still have to take into consideration it's just a slice of a pie. It's a slice of a pie, and you are a slice of the pie in this whole art market. But for yourself, you are the whole pie. So please decorate yourself the way that you like to decorate. I don't know why I'm talking about pies. I don't know, people. I don't know. It's late. It's late. I can name so many artists that create beautiful work, and nothing about that work is realistic. But still, it speaks to you. It moves you. And that is the thing that you need to be going for. What is it that you want to tell the people? How do you want to move the people? What is your method? What is your method? What is your art practice? What do you use? How are you elevating yourself? Do that. Stay in your lane. That's basically what I'm saying. Stay in your lane. Elevate your lane. And if there are other lanes that you would like to get into, that's fine too. Go into those lanes. They are still going to be your lane. I don't care if there are 5, 10, 15 lanes that you're getting into. It's still your lane, or lanes, plural. So yeah, that's the thing actually that I wanted to say. Do not be discouraged if your work doesn't look realistic. Do not be discouraged if your work doesn't look hyper realistic. That is not the top level of being an artist. And if anybody tells you that, you can direct them to me and I will handle with them. But I had to say that because I do not want people to be excuse me. I do not want people to have this idea that they cannot progress in their work because they don't create the work that they see a lot. And going to the sketches and the drawings. So let's go there. I think the best way that I can show you is if I turn the lights off, because then you can see the gradients and all of the grays and blacks that I'm using. So I think that's the best thing. Let's do it. Here is the actual drawing, or actually a piece of the actual drawing. I don't know if the face is ready. There's still a couple of things that I want to do with the face, but I will take my time for that. But you can see already the gradients of gray that I'm using with the pencils that I'm using. And by just taking your time and working in layers, you basically build up the layering of the drawing. So yeah, she's looking really good. She's looking really sassy. And I think when the hair is coming and the elements that I want to use in this are coming up, it's going to look absolutely beautiful and great. So this is the Bristol paper. You cannot really see the texture because one, it doesn't have texture. So that makes sense. But it's really smooth. It's really smooth. When you make a dent in this paper with graphite or charcoal or something that's really sharp, that dent is there forever because the Bristol paper is heavier. It's it's lighter than cardboard, but heavier than normal paper. So when you make a dent in it, man. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more sketching, just a little bit. I think until 12, and then I'm gonna call it quits because I am tired. Okay, your auntie tired, people. Your auntie tired.
So unfortunately, I lost the last part of this particular video in which I was saying goodbye to you all. Well, never mind. I'm going to do it now with this voiceover. So here you see a photo, which is actually a sneak peek to the next video that I will be uploading on this YouTube channel. And there you will see me do my work, working on the drawing itself. Anyway, this is my cue. This is the time that I'm gonna say subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. You're already here on this platform. You already watched a couple of videos. Trust me, I know. I know you've been doing that. I know. You already been looking for a couple of videos. Listen, you already like it here. So become a member to this YouTube channel and support the channel so that I can make even more great content for you all. And for those who are already a subscriber to the platform, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support and the love that you're sending out to me by liking and watching the videos. Really, really like that. Also, like the video. By liking the video, you're pushing it even further into the YouTube world, and more people get to see this particular type of content. That is it. That is all. Don't have anything but to say see you in the next video. Have a good one and take care, people. Bye, y'all.